What's the most savage insult you've ever heard from a child? When my niece Ava was 7, she had this eerie way of noticing everything. I don't mean normal kid stuff like colors or toys. I mean she could walk into a room and immediately clock who was fake smiling, who didn't like who, and who was pretending to be someone they weren't. She was also the kind of kid who asked why every 5 seconds. Why does that lady talk like that? Why does that man wear a wig? Brutally honest, but in a way that made adults laugh nervously. One weekend, my sister dropped her off at my house while she went out with friends. I was babysitting, which really just meant Ava followed me around all day asking questions and giving unsolicited advice. We were watching TV when a friend of mine, Julie, came over. Julie is one of those people who needs to one-up everyone. You say you had a bad day? She had 3. You got a new job? She already turned that one down. And worst of all, she hated kids. She called them germ goblins to their faces, but she smiled at Ava and said, "Aren't you just the cutest little mistake I've ever seen?" I froze. Ava blinked, tilted her head, and said, dead serious, "Aren't you just the loneliest adult I've ever met?" Julie laughed awkwardly. Wow, kids say the funniest things. Ava didn't laugh, just sipped her juice box, eyes still on her. Julie shifted in her seat. Anyway, I was thinking we could go to that new sushi place. I heard the waiters there are actually trained to flirt with you. Like, it's part of the experience. Before I could say anything, Ava said, "Is that because you have to pay people to like you?" I nearly choked. Julie looked like someone had slapped her with a wet towel. She stood up, muttered something about forgetting she had an appointment, and left within 2 minutes. I turned to Ava, stunned. "Ava, that was really rude." She just shrugged. She was rude first. A few weeks later, we were at a family cookout. My cousin brought her new boyfriend, Ethan. Ethan had that classic frat boy energy in his 30s vibe. Backward hat, talking over everyone, made a joke about women not understanding sports within 5 minutes. Ava was sitting on the patio, coloring quietly, until Ethan walked over and looked at her drawing. "What's this? A dragon? Looks like a lizard on fire." Ava looked up and said, "What's your job?" He puffed his chest. "I do sales." "What do you sell?" He paused. "Whatever people will buy." She stared at him and said, "So nothing?" My cousin snorted into her drink. Ethan went red. "It's commission-based. You wouldn't understand." Ava looked back at her drawing and said, "No, I understand. It means you talk a lot, but nobody really needs you." The man was speechless. I swear even the grill stopped sizzling. Later that night, I sat her down and said, "You can't say everything you think, Ava. Some things hurt people's feelings." She nodded seriously. "Okay, but if someone makes other people feel small and no one says anything, won't they think it's okay to keep doing it?" I couldn't argue with that. Last year, Ava turned 11. She's still just as sharp, but now she's figured out how to be kind and savage at the same time. It's honestly terrifying. At her school talent show, one of the moms made a snide comment about another kid's outfit being a little too flashy for elementary school. Ava, without missing a beat, turned to her and said, "It's okay. Some people get confused when they see confidence because they've never had it." Everyone started laughing, and that mom didn't say another word the entire night. People always say kids are innocent, but I wouldn't mess with Ava.